So, I've been thinking, and just the other day I was asking myself this question. I don't know why people like, especially people who are in the US, non-black people, or if they're black, somehow people always like to take the spotlight that belongs to black people, like to take the credit that belongs to black people. I've been trying to ask myself this question, but at the end of the day, I came to think that there's so much greatness tied to, I'm sorry for that noise, tied to black people. I mean, that some people think that they are part of it. Everyone want to be part of black excellence. Everyone want to be part of the hard work that black people have put to make the United States be what it is today. One of the biggest topics that are right now going on is Haitians. Asians claiming that they played a greater role in making the United States be what it is today. But I think some people needs to be reminded by telling them that we need to look at the base. It takes us back to the base, and the base is who made it possible for you first to be in the United States. What group of people went on the street for you to be in the United States? That's another question. So putting things into consideration makes us try to see the reality of the matter, because right now we are having all these debates that are going on back and forth between black people and all this other group of immigrants. I don't think there's a debate here, because people are always just want to take the spotlight that belongs to black people, and the fact is black people have played a pivotal role. Black people have played a poignant role in making the United States be what it is today, because if it weren't for black people, majority of people that today are beating their chest saying that they're the ones who are running the economy of the United States wouldn't have been here today. So looking it back and doing all the consideration and everything, we get to learn, or we get to see that black people have indeed played a big role in making the United States what it is. But brothers and sisters, I don't want to say much. I just want you to listen to, what all these other people say, and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. So let's get into it.
This is the time for all of us to raise our voices and to say this country is also our country, is also the country of our immigrants, because we are the one who built it.
Here we go with the bullshit. See, that's when it moves
The
me.
cries of Dr. Gerald Gabot, the Haitian immigrant in charge of the Immigrant Family Services Institute. She's reacting to the U.S. Supreme Court ruling Thursday that President Trump has the power to end temporary protected status for Haitian and Syrian immigrants, meaning some 45,000 Haitians on TPS in Massachusetts could be deported.
What exactly am I going to say to those 100,000 children who were born here and whose parents are on CPS and can be at any time deported?
Haitians and Syrians are here on TPS because they fled war, gang violence, and hurricane wreckage.
This is that bullshit. Now she gonna get her funky ass up there and say, "This is our country because we built it." What did they build? And y'all do not get up here talking about y'all founded Chicago and y'all built New Orleans. Don't nobody want to hear that bullshit. And how y'all fought in the war where y'all literally were slaves and recruited by the French and they have no goddamn choice. I don't want to hear it. It is a slap in the face to black Americans with a long lineage-based FBA, if you want to say, black Americans, when immigrants get up here spouting that bullshit. It is a slap in the face and is disrespectful to our ancestors who actually did pour their hard work, blood, sweat, and soul into building this country. Once again, and we've said these things, I've said it a million times, coming into a home that is already built, reupholstering some furniture, doing some plumbing, swapping out a light bulb, fixing the flooring does not mean that you built the house. Coming to a dinner that's already been serving food, restocking some groceries, cleaning the dishes does not mean that you built the table or provided the food. Like, I'm going to need immigrants to stop the bullshit. And at the end of the day, if you guys, I think I saw Sister Bridget, shout out to Sister Bridget. I looked at the comments in this video and she said either they were fighting the war in 1802 or 1804, or they were over here in the USA building the United States of America. You can't have it both ways. This is not Burger King. You can't have it your way. Pick a side and stick beside it and stay there. You all were not over here building the entire country of the USA, especially when you started coming over here a good decade ago for temporary protection status. When you came over here for temporary protection status in the 20 goddamn tens, you wasn't building it. If Johnny had 5 apples, bitch. So when y'all came over here because of a hurricane or some natural disaster, a few some odd years ago, we're talking about in the new millennia, y'all built America. The Syrian people that came over here in modern day times, escaping a war-torn country, built America when they came over here. I'm gonna need y'all to stop the lying, stop the grifting, and just say that you don't want to go back to your country. Just say that. But to say, oh, we built this country, ma'am, whoever that lady is, your accent is as thick as a bowl of cold grits. You didn't build a motherfucking thing in the United States of America. You probably just got here yesterday with that thick ass accent. You are not even Americanized enough to be sitting up here saying, we built the country, if you don't sit your funky ass down. And this is what we talk about when we say that you were constantly colonizing and co-opting the plight of Black Americans. And it's disrespectful because you're disrespectful because you're simultaneously ethnically erasing us and our ancestral lineage. And we're not going for that shit. Now, if y'all built America, go and build your own countries. Isn't that so simple? That's so simple. If y'all are so great, y'all built a first world country. You have a whole country that's run by you. Everybody there look like you. You're not living next door to anybody oppressing you. You ain't got no systemic nothing. It should be a breeze and a cakewalk. Now y'all got money, y'all got resources, y'all got degrees, y'all have skills. It should be a cakewalk if y'all built a first world country to go home and rebuild yours. What y'all think about this? Spread love is the Brooklyn. Haitians built the United States of America. Wow, this post is so disheartening and frankly ignorant because a lot of those immigrants helped to build and add to what Black Americans did in America. The diaspora war is insane. First of all, tell us, name it off. Give me 5 things that Black immigrants did to help Black Americans build the United States of America. Go ahead, listen to the comments. 5 things. I'm talking about to build, not to add to what was already built. Now, how they were able to come over here and build something for themselves off the backs of Black Americans, maybe that's what you mean? Because to help to build, like... And then y'all love to get up here and talk about Marcus Garvey, who is a traitor. Working with the Triple K. Working with the man that was practicing eugenics and reclassifying Black Americans. Like, y'all got to get y'all story together before y'all start popping it in the comments. Talking about how much Black immigrants helped is a strong word. First of all, to be an immigrant means that you're migrating. You're coming from a country to another already established country. The United States of America was already established before a lot of you all came over here. Y'all love to get on the internet and say, my father came over here with $5. If your parents came over here with $5, how the fuck y'all helped anybody with $5? All you had was $5 in the chancletas or the sandals or the flip-flops that you had on your feet. How did you come and help anybody when y'all claimed y'all all came over here broke, busted, disgusted, and destitute? Let's start there. Second of all, you wouldn't have even been able to migrate over here. We got to keep saying the same thing over and over. You wouldn't have been able to migrate over here by the drove had it not been for civil rights, for the Hart-Celler Act. All of the things that were ushered in on the backs of Black Americans. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to start being honest about this. And I this is what I said initially in the first video when I said, maybe people would be more comfortable shopping Caribbean owned or going to, a black immigrant versus going to an Asian immigrant. But it puts a bad taste in your mouth when you all just blatantly lie and try to pump fake your way into a lineage in order to benefit. And that's mostly how our relationship has been with immigrants, period. No matter your color, no matter if you're a black immigrant, a Asian, a Hasidic, a Hindu, it doesn't matter. Our black Americans' relationship with almost everybody in this country as a collective has been host, parasite. Even if it's just a hate and punch down, that is still an act of being parasitic, because you're using a group of people for an ego boost, for a confidence boost, for oxytocin, to get your fix, and to make yourself feel better about your miserable experience, such as whatever your life is. That is also energy vampirism. Just like literally hating on somebody, demeaning somebody, constantly pivoting, deflecting, and pointing a finger. That is another way to get a fix off of a person. It's narcissistic abuse at the end of the day. Like, y'all really need to pick this shit up. So to get up here and say black immigrants help black Americans, how? I don't understand why y'all so mad and so pressed about how we spending our money. Don't y'all say y'all don't need us? Aren't all of you all doing so much better? Like, the jokes write themselves and everything always comes full circle. The chickens always come home to roost. To roast? To roost? I don't know. Anyways, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, the things we talk about and y'all claim we're lying and it's not true, y'all prove it time and time again. You all clearly use us as a lifeline. We've clearly been resourceful. If not, y'all would not give a fuck if we were boycotting or coming to your businesses. Y'all wouldn't care. You can't make this up. And then to say the diaspora war is insane. It's a war? Us wanting to practice group economics means that we're waging war on you? Let that sink in. That's insane. We're not in the street beating y'all's ass. We're not burning down y'all's establishments. We're just simply saying we'd rather circulate the dollar amongst ourselves for a bit. Like, what is wrong with that? Y'all do it. Y'all send money back home. Anyways, what y'all think about this? Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Sound off in the comments, because
immigrants did not build America. I'm gonna need y'all to really stop saying that. Y'all just let these folks lie to y'all. Black Americans are the people that built America. Everything that we have done has allowed these people to even come into America. So anything that y'all have even built is off the backs of us. But I need you to really understand that part. So not only we are the reason that you're able to come into the country, when y'all came into the country, they made sure that they took away our businesses and put y'all in place of us. Like, he really had some audacity to be like, oh, that we needed them Asian people and stuff like that. Do you not realize that everything that the Asian people have is stuff that black people would do? Like, hey, you trying to act like black people are incompetent of doing that stuff, but it's just stuff that people do. It's that dehumanizing shit. That's that not seeing you as human, not seeing you as equal, because you're not doing nothing special. You're just picking something up and putting it down, whether it's some fabric spraying some shit or whatever, or dry cleaning, however you do the shit. It's nothing spectacular that you're doing. Every time black women go get their nails done, it's never what they want for real. And people, they always be trying to rush them, just trying to get the next person in their chair. They be stabbing them, cutting them and stuff, bruh. Like, you trying to act like it's a luxury experience. That's my whole thing. You trying to act like it's something that we really need, bruh. Nobody needs y'all. The Chinese food. Who eat Chinese food every day? He acting like they're the soup kitchen or something. Nobody needs, like, it just blows my mind. So, like, I would not spend money with them.
I want to address the latest lie that many immigrants are beginning to spread, that it is they who built the United States of America. From Mayor Mamdani to Jabuzi to that Haitian woman that was upset because Haitians have just lost their TPS status. I have a couple of questions for you all who believe that. Number one, how do you build a place that already existed and was established for you to come to? And then number two, if you're so great at building, why are you here in the United States of America and not in your country of origin, building it? Why did you come here? Why have you remained? It is such a bald-faced lie. Yes, immigrants have contributed to this nation, of course, but hell no. You all didn't build the United States of America. Black Americans did. And every time you tell that lie, we're going to refute it and call you out on it. I don't care if you say we're being xenophobic. I don't care if you say we're being divisive, racist, whatever you want to call it. You're not going to get away with spreading that lie. No, immigrants did not build the United States of America. That doesn't even make logical sense. Black Americans built the United States of America. And it's wild because what's very telling is that I only have one mutual, a brother who is from the islands who is here now. And he is the only one that I know of that every time other immigrants are anti-Black, disparaging, insulting, saying that they built America, he is the only one who calls them out on it. The other immigrants who don't believe that, you all are awfully quiet, just like you are quiet when all these videos come out of immigrants, including African immigrants, expressing anti-Blackness and again reciting white supremacist talking points. And it is wild because in the case of the Haitians, if they and other immigrants had listened to Black Americans, especially Black American women, during the campaign of 2024 and voted in lockstep with Black Americans on November 5th of 2024, they probably would still have their temporary protected status. But oh well, you all claim that we are uneducated and lazy and uncultured as you beg for a seat at a table in which the oppressors will only use you as footstools. But we have tried to tell you, and Black Americans are done with that. We will not tolerate your disrespect. We do not hate you. But again, we're concerned with our community and building it up as we have always had to do. You guys are on your own. I hate that you're finding out, as we say, that fat meat is greasy, but it is your lesson to learn. So have the day you deserve.
As an immigrant, you want to know something that pissed me off? It's when people say immigrants built America. Like, bitch, didn't you get paid for the work you do? Because, like, I've done construction. I've built a lot of beautiful homes for rich folks. You don't see my black ass going into their houses like, I have to be here. I built this shit. Apartment buildings, hotels, same shit. I've been a part of crews that built multiple buildings from residentials to businesses. I've never yet walked into one of these buildings and said, yo, I built this shit. I get to be here. And if you're going to be one of them people to get in my comment section like, oh, you're taking it out of context. That's not what they... Fuck off. Fuck off. It's the same shit. The moral of the motherfucking story is if you're an immigrant, it's a privilege to be here, not a fucking right. Now bring your ass over there and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Hail the King 1.0. Fuck out of here.
Do not, again, try and come on any of my videos trying to justify immigrants built this country. Don't do it, because that's a lie. And I'm getting ready to go into why, okay? So a lot of what's going on with the TPS and everything, which is unfortunate for a lot of different groups, but I work on facts, okay? So here are the facts, okay? Immigrants did not build this country. This is a huge country. They haven't built one state in this country, okay? Not at all, okay? The infrastructure and everything was built, and they came into an already built country. Okay, that's number one. Number two, a lot of you like to say, well, this many thousand people from I'm going to say Haiti because that was the last comment I read. This many Haitians came into the United States of America, 56,000, and did this. Thing about it is, Black Americans by the thousands went into, during the 1800s, as a matter of fact, went into the Caribbean. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to talk about Hispaniola. Okay, and there are remnants of this. If you want proof of this, we have a Black diaspora called the Samana. Okay, people, and they're down in that area. Okay, and they built a prosperous enclave before it was attacked by the Dominican Republic because the Dominican Republic was jealous. Okay, now, and I can get into that anyway, but besides all that, Black Americans were involved contributed to several different countries in the Caribbean and in the Central American states. Okay, but we don't walk around saying we built these nations. And when I tell you that we did a lot of building, we did a lot of building. And as far as with the Central American states, there was a lot of money Black America put in. White America didn't put in a dime, especially when it came down to Haiti. They didn't build anything. They didn't put in a dime. Not cool. They didn't lift a brick. Okay, but you don't see Black Americans talking about, oh, we built Haiti. We don't do that. We don't walk around like that. So because it's disrespectful. Because for the thousands that went into those countries in the Caribbean, there were millions there that did far more work over the centuries than us. So it's disrespectful. We wouldn't do that. Okay, just because 50,000 or however many that lady said, 50,000 whoever went here and did something over here, that doesn't mean you built the United States of America. No Caribbean people built even a full state in the United States. So you have to consider how you speak. That the phrase "immigrants built this country" is a lie. Okay. Another thing I want to get into is the reason, and I'm gonna go into, since I brought up the Seminole people. Okay, a lot of people don't even know about the Seminole people, but here's how this went down. Okay, and I wrote. Matter of fact, I reprinted this book right here. I reprinted Reverend M.W. Thornton's book entitled "The White Negro" for a reason. Because inside this book, when you get further into it, and I wrote an afterword, which is at the back of the book, about lynchings and so forth, right? But when you get to the back of the book, he was warning Black Americans of the schemes people were using to get Black Americans to move out of the United States of America. These schemes are still going on today. One of the schemes is this birthright citizenship stuff going on. Okay, all right. So this is a book where he actually warned Black Americans of all the schemes. Now let's talk about Black Americans, and I'm gonna try to squeeze this in. Let's talk about Black Americans and what was going on with Black Americans when they moved into Hispaniola, which is now Haiti and the Dominican Republic, because of a war they split. Okay. So back in the day, the same society, the American Colonization Society that tried to get Black Americans to go to Liberia, and some of them went free Black Americans to go to Liberia. That's the same one that tried to do the same thing with Haiti. But here's the thing. There was a person inside the American Colonization Society that went rogue. The American Colonization Society did not want Black Americans to go to Haiti. Why? Because they were afraid that that would boost Haiti's economy. Because Black Americans knew far too much. Okay, so they were like, all right, we send Black Americans down there, that's gonna boost Haiti for real. Okay, they didn't want that, but a rogue white man went and tried to convince the president at that time. Said, we trying to get free Black Americans out of here, so we can have this country. So can you just take them? The president wasn't trying to hear that white man. Okay, the president wasn't trying. He was like, no, because what you're not gonna do is have me go behind Black Americans' back and double cross them like that. No, instead, even though the president did want Black Americans in Haiti, he said, no, I don't want to work with you. I'm gonna work with Black people. So he sent Haitians to Black America to ask Black America to come to Haiti and help build. Okay, so there were a lot of free Black Americans who went into Haiti, okay, and started building maritime, building from agriculture on up, building alongside Haitians. Okay, building big time, because during that time people had different skill sets, and Black Americans had a plethora of skill sets that Haiti needed at that time as an independent nation. Okay. And Black Americans at that time said, okay, we're going to go into this free Black nation. It was the first free Black nation over here, okay? So they were excited, okay? So we went over there and they said, we're going to do this. We're going to do this together. They were trying to work together. Most Black Americans went back to the United States of America after a lot of stuff was completed. But there's a section of Black Americans that didn't, okay? And this is where you get the Samana. They ended up staying and they became the Samana, okay? So the Black American, basically, for those who don't understand that, the Black American people are the ancestors to the Samana, okay? And they still celebrate some of the certain things we celebrate and everything like that. However, now this is what happened, okay? So this is how you know that's the footprint of Black America in that particular area in the Caribbean, okay? The Samana were so successful in their area until later on the DR, the Dominican Republic, attacked them for their success. Okay, so the Samana had one of the most successful enclaves in the Caribbean. Okay, and the DR didn't like that; they attacked them. Okay, so y'all can go read up on that. I said that in general, but and to this day, you never hear Black Americans saying we built these countries in the Caribbean, although we are responsible for contributing a whole bunch in the very beginnings of the societies there. Okay, it's just disrespectful. But there's not one state that Caribbean people or any other that they built. There's not one state that they built. So to get on the microphone and say you built this when you came into, especially with New York, because a lot of people went to New York, you came into an infrastructure that was already built by Black Americans and Native Americans. You came into that. It was built. It's very disrespectful to say you built a country you didn't build. You just didn't. And that's all.
I keep getting comments like this in my comment section from immigrants, particularly POC immigrants, Black immigrants, brown immigrants, who keep talking about this list or being next on this imaginary list of people who the U.S. government is going to pack up and ship off somewhere. My question is if you really believe that Black Americans, foundationally Black Americans, the people who are descendants of the slaves, who've been here since before the foundation of the country, which is why we some of us are calling ourselves foundational, because that means before it was called the United States, right? Where the hell do you think that they're going to ship us off to? Okay, nobody has yet to answer that question. But also, if this were the case, why the hell wouldn't they have done that right after slavery ended when it would have been much easier? Why would they wait until 2026 to decide to ship off every single Black person on this landmass? So what list are you speaking of? What atrocities have you gone through in this country that we have not also gone through? What atrocities have you gone through that are worse than what our ancestors went through? I don't really think that you can name any. So I'm not really sure what this list is that you keep speaking of. And another thing, stop coming at Black Americans like we're immigrants. Stop coming at Black Americans as if we are in the same boat, the same immigration system as everybody else. We're not in any kind of immigration system in the United States of America. This country is just as much ours as it is whoever you think is in power or whoever's making all these legislative decisions. The country is just as much ours as it is theirs. We are not in any kind of situation where we need to be getting thrown into the same boat and threatened with all of this. You guys are next. Just wait and see. I don't know why you guys are acting like you're immune from something, sweetie. We are not immigrants. I don't know why I just don't know where this idea comes from. Just because our skin is brown, just because it's brown, don't mean automatic deportation. Don't mean that you don't belong in the United States. I know that is just so hard to believe and it's so heartbreaking, but we are not in the same boat. So we should not even be being addressed at all when it comes to anything immigration related, anything deportation related, anything that has to do with having to find or relocate or anything, Black Americans should not even be a thought in that conversation.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories. As I was saying, people just need to learn to put some respect in the names of Black people. I don't know if they know the magnitude or the extent that Black people have gone for them just to be in the United States. There's so many inventions that even today America uses that was invented by Black people in the US. I mean, Black Americans in the US. And their inventions are still being used until today when I'm talking to you. So, brothers and sisters, this is something that is going on. This is something that is happening. And we are seeing people who want to, take the spotlight that belong to Black people. Because now you get to understand one thing. This is something that has been going on for the longest time. Anytime a Black person does something, there will always be that one person that usually want to take the spotlight. Usually they want to be that part. And this is something that has been going on for a while now. And it needs to be addressed. Right. So I thought that we need to address this issue, because this is something that has been going on for a while now. And yeah, it needs to be talked about. Right. Black people have done a lot of things. Black people have invented a lot of things. For it to be possible even for some of you to set their foot in the United States, it is because of Black people. They have just made it possible for everyone. The inventions, the everything that is being used until now, including the AC that you use in your cars, in your houses, and everywhere, it is Black people that invented them. So what are you trying to say? Does it make sense to you now? I think it should. I don't see why this topic makes sense. Black people have put themselves in the front line for them to be in the United States. If it weren't for the civil rights movement that Black people led, the works like people like Malcolm X and what they did, if it weren't for Black people, I promise you, majority of people wouldn't have been in the US today. And still, racism will have still been there. So at no point, you won't be here beating your chest saying that you did this, you did that, you did this. So stop taking the spotlight that's not yours. Put some respect for the people that made it possible for you to be in the United States. And I think this could be easily solved, because some people, when you talk about the diaspora wars, somebody will say that, Black people are so-and-so, or so-and-so, and so. I think this is something which is simple. It begins by recognizing, by putting respect. I know, and I'm not trying to say that immigrants haven't done anything. They have played part in developing the United States. Indeed, they have played part in developing the United States. But what I'm saying is that for United States to grow, there's a huge difference between growth and development. For United States to grow, and I said when I began the video, we're talking about the base. We're talking about the base, because without the base, there is no head. It's like you're trying to plant a tree that got no stems, right? The tree gotta have some stems, and later on branches. Then branches, we have all these leaves that we are seeing right now, and later on fruits. So you cannot claim you're the one who bore fruits, but you don't know the stem of the tree. You didn't put the stem, you didn't put the seed, you didn't plant the seed that got the stems. So it all goes back to the base. It all goes back to the base. And I think that needs to make sense. People need to accept that Black people have indeed played a pivotal role in making the United States be what it is today. Black Americans, to be specific, have made the United States be what it is today. Brothers and sisters, if you have a contrary opinion, please also let me know. I'd like to hear what you have to say in regards to this. As you know, I'm your host and present hygienic stories. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.